Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video in round 16 of my season 2 in career mode at the beautiful Malaysian Grand Prix. As you can see, the sun's shining quite low here today for a late Saturday afternoon qualifying session, and a new format for the videos from now on to the end of the season, with practice being cut obviously because of the lack of R&D points that we don't need because we've ceased development. So as you can see, jumping straight into the nitty gritty for qualifying here, and before we actually really focus on the video, I want to say a massive thank you for the response on the career mode choice for season 3. I really do appreciate it, and a lot of votes there, and I'll be announcing my team choice very soon for season 3. But as you can see right now, kind of getting through into Q2 quite comfortably with a nice solid lap there in Q1 to get things underway for qualifying here at Malaysia. And moving into Q2, this time showing my cards a little bit more this time round, and starting off the lap times, you can see the sun really shining quite low on the pit straight there, making visibility quite poor into the first corner actually for the braking markers. But as you can see, purple first sector to kick things off, going faster than Kimi Raikkonen, now moving into the second sector, and also going to still just about maintain our purple, now a 10th I believe up, or 10th down on Raikkonen I believe, very close still to our teammate. Now we come out the final corner at the end of our lap in Q2, we're going to come across the line, and it's going to be good enough for P3, just 2 tenths behind Kimi Raikkonen. So a solid lap there in Q2 to get us through into the final part of qualifying. Now I do want to say, guys, if you're enjoying this series and you're enjoying this video so far, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, as I'm currently commentating this once again at 1 o'clock in the morning, which I seem to do quite a lot recently, and there's people in my house. But as you can see now, coming out the final corner in Q3, we're going to ride on board for the entirety of this lap. As you can see, the overcast conditions now completely changing the landscape of qualifying, and there's actually rain falling on the track right now. There's little droplets falling which are really upsetting the balance of the car and the track. As you can see, we get massively interfered by Lewis Hamilton in the first corner, already losing a couple of tenths because of that, and Lewis Hamilton there doing us no favours whatsoever. And I might even go to the stewards after and try and inquire about that, because that's not exactly what you want for getting out of the way in the first corner there. But nevertheless, we're purple right now because obviously no one set any lap times as we go into turn 4, kissing the apex quite beautifully, picking up some pretty good traction on the exits. We now go into turns 5 and 6, a swooping left and then a swooping right hander here. Good speed through this corner, and actually good momentum carrying, running it nice and right wide onto the curb there. Now into 7 and 8 I believe, a double apex right hander, and actually missed my apex quite severely for the first half and get all out of shape in the second one, losing the back end there. And the raindrops now starting to have a bit of an effect on the car, and the back end sliding out the car, so I missed the apex for the hairpin of turn 9, getting the power through almost flat out through turn 10. That feeds into turn 11, a constant swooping right hander here, and the car really starting to get away from me here. The conditions really starting to upset the balance of the car, struggling to keep it on the black stuff as we now go through 12 and 13, which feeds into the apex of 14, and we've got the apex completely wrong. We've done a Sergio Perez and completely missed the apex of the corner, and that's going to severely affect our lap time here in Q3, as this is going to be our one and only attempt because of the rain conditions that are imminent in the sky right now. But luckily we've gone out quite early, so hopefully we can try and get a good result nevertheless as we go into the final corner, missing the apex completely, trying to bring it back for a late apex though in third gear, getting on the power nice and late as we come up to the line. Rosberg's on pole. Are we going to beat him? Not quite. P2 for now, and eventually come the end of the session it would only be good enough for a very disappointing P8. So a very poor qualifying session there, and not the best qualifying result going into the race here at Malaysia, and the conditions really plaguing my Q3 lap quite severely there. But I tried my best to try and pull one out of the bag, but unfortunately I was a bit scruffy all around there, and it just from the get-go of Lewis Hamilton getting him away didn't really help me. But hopefully we can try and turn around the race, because I believe there is rain expected. So without further ado, let's jump into the race. Okay, so here we are then for the race on Sunday. It's a proper wet race today. Full wet conditions for the first time, and I believe, I want to say almost all season. It's been a long time since we've had these conditions, and as you can see, it's absolutely raining, and bit of a real one because the mechanics obviously don't feel the need for an umbrella, but we're just going to gloss over that one real quick. But hopefully we can try and have a good race today. Obviously P8 on the grid, a fairly I won't say good or bad qualifying, just right in the middle. It could have been a little bit better. The lap was a bit scruffy, but I definitely could have done a much better job. But in regards to the race strategy, as you can see, we're starting on the full wets, and the conditions are going to improve as the race goes on. So we've underfueled quite severely, so this should hopefully play into hands quite nicely, especially in these wet conditions. But hopefully we can try and drag these wet tyres out, switch over to inters, and then eventually move on to dry tyres. But hopefully this rain isn't here to stay for too long. So without further ado, let's jump right into the Malaysian Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. The 5 red lights are coming on now for round 16 of the season, and it's going to be lights out and away we go. We're going to try and get a good start here, concentrate on the traction, which is crucial here little bit of a wheel spin, but a pretty good start again, straight past Grosjean off the line. We've got a Force India point inside a bit of Esteban Ocon. I'm going to go for the outside line into turn 1. I'm going to try and go the long way round, try and cut past a few cars and see how much positions we can make up in this first phase of the race. Going to try and just find a gap here between these guys. We've got Perez making a brilliant start up into P4 and the Force India there. We've got 3 wide up ahead with Verstappen, Raikkonen and Ocon. Both Force Indias getting great starts. Force India now the fourth best team on the grid as I go around the outside of Ocon up into P6, just behind Kimi Raikkonen now as we go into turn 4 for the first time. This race is missing the apex so slightly. Hamilton and Ricciardo going side by side up front, and also Perez and Rosberg. Perez trying to go around the outside of Rosberg for P3 here. We're going to try and sit behind these guys, maybe try and get past Raikkonen into the next corner as he's going to get slowed up by the cars ahead, and there you go, Perez slowing up my teammate Kimi Raikkonen. We get past him just about. This time no contact between myself and Kimi, unlike the last 2 races where he's really been a thorn in my side and a major rival. And the Ferrari garage now no longer an open garage. It's been split in the middle with a wall in between both parts of the garage to try and separate us as Raikkonen relentlessly dives one back up the inside. I'm going to try and hang around the outside of the hairpin. A bit of contact there on the side pod. I'm going to try and pick up the traction, and there we go. Now we're back up into P5. The back end stepping out these conditions. Very tricky here at Sepang, but we need to try and settle into a rhythm here and try and get into this race a little bit and try and get after Sergio Perez here. I'm going to run purposely wide onto the entry of the final corner to swing back at Perez, pick up a little bit of traction, which we have done. A little bit of a snappy rear end, but we have caught it. We've got some good traction here. I'm going to pick up slipstream on Perez, pull to the inside, and this should be a fairly simple move into the inside of turn 1 here. Just going to make a nice easy move, starting up the inside. A little bit of a right front lock up there, which is going to send me a little bit wide. Perez trying to cut back underneath me. I'm going to have to better line into turn 2 and squeeze him out, and there we go, up into P4. So pretty good start to the race actually, considering we start from P8, so 4 positions gained on lap 1, and we're now going to chase down the Mercedes, who are not exactly the best car in the grid. Ricciardo, who's in the lead, is a championship rival, and he's a threat. 30 points ahead of us, so they are thereabouts in the championship. So Ricciardo's the man we've got to beat this race, and in order to do that we need to win as it currently stands. So let's try and hunt these guys down. Okay, so I'm right back of Nico Rosberg, and really starting to settle into that sort of dangerous rhythm that once you really hit the zone in these conditions, you're really fast and really hard to stop, and that's exactly where I am right now. And here we go then, right alongside Nico Rosberg, and look at the straight line speed in this Ferrari now. I mean, the engine upgrade is really paying off, flying past the German. But like I said in past episodes, obviously ceasing R&D because we don't need to improve this car anymore, because we're not going to be with them anymore this season. So the car's about as good as it's going to get for now, at least anyway. And a fast lap of the race to cap things off. So there you go, the pace really starting to show here at Sepang. Okay, so I'm going to come in this lap because the engineer came on the radio and said he's not sure if these full wets are the right tyres for the current conditions, and I'm going to hope that these guys don't come in, so we've got some sort of a chance of a strategy split. And it looks like no, they're all coming in, so I think this pit lane could be a little bit hectic here at Sepang. I think a lot of cars are going to be coming to the pit lane here, but literally we're right in Hamilton's gearbox. So don't know what's going on here. I'm being slowed down for some reason, so it's like an automatic speed limiter. I don't know why that's happened, but I've basically lost all the advantage I had to Lewis Hamilton, so that was weird. I don't know why the game slowed me down there. That's a bit of a weird glitch, which I've no explanation for. But as you can see, on to intermediates and we're away, so not too bad. Slightly held up, I think, by the Red Bull there, but on to inters and we're away on a 2.6 pit stop. And now it's a question of rejoining, hopefully right behind Lewis, because the AI are very slow on fresh tyres, so we can try and attack Lewis early on here. We can get right in his gearbox. We've got a car coming out of pit lane here, or sorry, on the pit straight. Perez is actually on the intermediate, so Perez switching to inters a lap early and undercutting me beautifully. So Perez there in the Force India pulling off an absolute worldie of a strategy call. So Force India they're pulling one out of the bag out of nowhere, but I need to get on the pace here straight away and get past Perez, because I need to not let Lewis Hamilton go, and crucially I can't let Daniel Ricciardo get away at the front, because once these dry conditions come, that Red Bull's very quick around here. So here we go, getting past Perez nice and early, nice little switch back through turn 4, brilliant traction, and we're on our way after Lewis Hamilton now. So now the remainder of guys who are on full wets have come to their pit lane, so I think they're going to lose quite a bit of time, because these intermediates feel absolutely beautiful right now, and they're right in the prime. So let's have a look, see where they are. It looks like there you can see Raikkonen on the minimap, he's nowhere near, so he's lost a heap of time in the fastest final sector from me there. So there you go, the pace really showing on these intermediates as I go a little bit deep into turn 1. Grosjean setting the fastest laps, so there you go, the times are absolutely tumbling now at Sepang, and everyone's setting fastest laps for fun. So we need to try and get past Lewis and hunt down Daniel Ricciardo. As we lose the back end there, massive tanks up there. The traction's still not not there yet on these conditions. But I've got to say, a really snappy rear end on this Ferrari all weekend, even though I put in almost hardly no power on the exit as we completely miss our apex there for turn 4. As I was saying, hardly no power, and I'm still losing the back end out of the corners, and I've got no confidence on the throttle whatsoever on the exit of corners, which is very strange compared to recent races where the car's been so planted. But we've got to try and power through that issue and try and keep on going here. I can't change this up now, obviously apart from air conditions, so I just got to try and stay on the track and try and do what I can. Here we are right in the back of Lewis Hamilton now. The pace really starting to show. I've had a really good lap on these inters, and here we go. Hamilton's had a poor exit out of that corner here. We're going to get alongside the British former 3-time world champion here. I'm going to pull, squint to the inside a little bit, try and outbrake him. Can we try and go around the outside of the final corner? If not, I'll switch back on him here. Getting a great entry into the corner, getting the traction on the exit, and there we go. We get up into second place. A beautiful switchback move, and really feeling the pace on these tyres a minute. First man into the 149s this race, so the track is really coming to me, and it's drying out very quickly here, so it's not too far from dry conditions. Maybe in around lap 12 to 13 it could be possibly dry, so the track really drying out fast for Sepang like it usually does, and the weather changing within a click of your fingers. So Sepang in a nutshell, as you can see. Okay, so let's just see if Ricciardo pits in here. The track has dried out really quick, and I tell you what, I'm really thinking about switching to dryers. So I'm going to start one more lap because of the mistake that I made a few races ago. I can't remember what race it was, but I came in stupidly early, and there's literally no points. I'm going to just hang out one more lap, but the track is really drying out quick here, and the dry line forming so fast around here. I've never seen it so quick before, so it might be time for dryers very soon, possibly by the end of this lap. Right, I'm going to come in this lap. DRS is now enabled, and the track is really dried out here. I think Ricciardo's probably going to come in. That's my estimation, and there he goes into the pit lane. So it's going to be a pit stop battle once again. Hopefully I don't get a thing where I get slowed down again, and I can actually slow down myself into the pit lane. And we're going to hit our marks just about there. This time I was allowed to, so that was really weird what happened in the first pit stop. Obviously some sort of glitch possibly, but there's going to be a pit stop battle. I think I'm close enough to Ricciardo that if we have a quick stop here, we could actually overtake him here. And yes, there we go, we get past Ricciardo. So a brilliant pit stop from the Ferrari boys, a 1.9, and that's got us ahead of Ricciardo, and we're also on a quicker tyre, so we should be able to get the gap out hopefully on these mediums and then switch over to softs. That's my aim, whereas the I've gone for hard. So split strategies here. I think everyone's going to be on softs coming in the race, but I've decided to go for mediums instead of hards and try and drag these out. Obviously I'm a little bit in the dark in regards to tyre life around here on the dry conditions, but I'm just going to try and drive nice and smoothly and try and get these tyres to drag until lap 20 if possible. If not, then we'll switch to an extra 2 stops on soft tyres and be extra aggressive, but hopefully these get me to the end. There we go at 1:37, 12 seconds faster than the current fastest lap. I think I'm pulling away from Ricciardo, which is good, and I really need to get the hammer down just in case, because I need that buffer of a few seconds in case I want to do an extra pit stop. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez in P20, so he was something's going on with him because he was running so high up at one point, and that was just like 10 laps ago. So Perez really having a problem somewhere in that middle stint, but either way he's currently holding me up, so I need to get past him here as we slide up the inside, and the lap times are currently tumbling at the moment, so we just keep the hammer down and keep pushing hard here. Right now I'm in a really good position because Ricciardo's only 2.5 seconds behind me. However, if I just go straight to the softs at the end, I can send the lead as long as I like, because the thing is, if Ricciardo just stays out on those hards, which, you know, by default I'm expecting to do around 10 to 13 laps on those tyres, then all I've got to do is match him, and then when I feel like it's time to pit, then I'll just pit for softs. Or if he pits for softs, then I'll simply just respond to him. But at the moment, because I've got the gap, even if he undercuts me, I've still got enough of a gap there, I think, that I can defend myself. So even if I feel the need to overtake him, then I can do so towards the end of the race. But I've got a really nice position right now, and all I've got to do is just keep going round and round and round, and the second I see Ricciardo pit, then I've got to respond. Right now things are looking good. The tyres are starting to enter their secondary phase. However, look at that purple first sector, and to be honest with you, Ricciardo isn't really catching. The gap sort of floating around 2.5, so things are looking good so far. I need about 2.5 more laps to get onto those soft tyres, so I need to try and drag these out. Preferably I'd like to get to lap 21, so I'll see if I can pull that one off, but if not, I think lap 20 will be a switch onto soft tyres, but lap 21 ideally just to safely get me to the end of the race on soft tyres. There you go, fastest lap of the race out of nowhere. I literally cranked up into rich mix on the back straight because I've got a bit of fuel in reserve, but that was me really trying to punish the tyres that lap and try and get every single last bit out of these. But it's good to know I've still got some tyre left in these, and I've been conserving them quite nicely, but now I'm going to try and really push these and try and get every last bit out of them before we pit in around 1 or 2 laps time. We've got Felipe Nasr and Jordan King for traffic here. We need to try and negotiate them if possible. Oh, they're costing me a little bit of time here. Got to get on the power. We got past both of them quite nicely, actually. Trying to go on Nasr quite aggressively on the apex of the corner, but we have got ahead of them, both of them, crucially. But I think I've lost a little bit of time, but hopefully Ricardo will have to navigate them and not, and also lose a bit of time. To be fair, not too bad of a second middle sector considering I had to navigate those guys, but now we've got a Renault ahead that we're going to have to deal with also. Okay, so I think Hamilton and Ricardo have just pitted that last time round because now Verstappen's in second. I have set a purple first sector, so I'm defending myself from these guys. I want to try and get to lap 21 and pit at the end of the next lap if possible, so depending on how this lap goes for pace, I'm going to stay out for one more because I've got a 3-second cushion to Ricardo, so I should be able to defend myself, and I want to try and be nice and comfortable on those soft tyres. Ricardo, though, has gone back out on another set of hards, I believe, so Ricardo not feeling confident on another set of tyres, so I can easily afford to do one more lap because I don't think Ricardo's going to be majorly quick on a fresh set of hards. The only problem is I don't know what tyre Hamilton's on, but I don't think he's a threat anymore for the remainder of this race. Okay, so there we go, official confirmation that Hamilton is on hard tyres, and I don't think I'm under any sort of threat this pit stop for an undercut. I think I've defended myself quite nicely. I was within a tenth of the fast lap of the race last time round, so I think I've done enough. I'm just going to take it nice and easy to the pit lane, make sure that we don't speed, take it nice and safe, nice and easy, and even then, if we still need to get past Ricardo on track, we're on soft tyres compared to his hards, but I've just seen, based off the time splits, that we were pulling away from Ricardo anyway, and also a 2-second pit stop on top of that to cap it off, so I think we're going to be rejoining quite comfortably in the lead of the race unless anything weird happens, and we're going to be able to push quite comfortably on these tyres, and then hopefully bring the car home for the race win. And we've got a car just behind us against Ericsson, so there you go. Ricardo nowhere to be seen, and I've actually extended my gap with an overcut, so there you go, and now we just got to try and bring this car home safely. Alonso's holding me up here a little bit. I need him to get out of the way. There we go. Cut back underneath him, and there we go. We get past him, but can't have traffic hold me up, and especially can't have traffic giving me damage because that's going to really hinder my race. So there we go. We get past Alonso, and we've got to just try and bring this car home now. Right, here we go. On the last lap of the race, on the back straight, we've got a couple of cars battling it out up ahead. I'm just going to stay out this battle. I was going to try and do my best Sebastian Vettel impression and try and get the fastest lap on the last lap of the race, but because of the battling here, I've just backed off the pace a little bit. But here we go, across the line to win the Malaysian Grand Prix after the terrible last race in Singapore and also the controversy in Monza. A massive win to bounce back and get myself right back in the title hunt and hopefully back into second place in the drivers' standings. But a massive 25 points. Ricardo in second place. I'm going to need Ricardo to get maybe a third or fourth place in one of these final races to give me a half decent chance to catch him, because this is very similar to the sort of gap that Lewis Hamilton had to overturn to Nico Rosberg in the real life 2016 season last year. So I need a bit of luck, and hopefully Ricardo will not be getting second places all the way from now to the end of the season. But as you can see, a very good race there, and ignore the glitchy name, as obviously the modding can't obviously cover all bases. But as you can see, on the podium, 2 Red Bulls to my side, and crucially Raikkonen not on the podium either, so the other championship rival Raikkonen having a very poor Malaysian Grand Prix and nowhere to be seen. So I think Raikkonen might be losing a few points and dropping down to third place possibly in the driver standings after this, so that's going to be quite good for us. It's looking like, from what went at all Ferrari Drivers Championship fight to now a Ferrari Red Bull Drivers Championship fight. So Raikkonen, since being fired, really dropping form here at Malaysia, but that was the Malaysian Grand Prix. So there we have it, a massive 25 points, and what an incredible race that was, and you know, a real tester in terms of patience, but the car felt really, really good, and the pace was also really, really good, and there you go, there's 25 points to prove it. And also, when you look at the Drivers' Championship now, things are looking back on track for us, and we could have a chance of getting Ricciardo. Like I said, we do need him to get maybe a third place or something to really give us a good chance, but Raikkonen could be out of contention, and also for the constructors, things are looking pretty tasty as well, only 6 points behind Red Bull. But nevertheless, guys, if you did enjoy the video, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, and also if you could subscribe to my channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And if you did miss any of the videos on screen right now, do urge you to go check them out if you haven't done so already. And yeah, guys, that's about for this video, so thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Goodbye.